What's up, guys? Rob from Deep Brandis Gaming here, and today I'm bringing you kind of an older style commentary. I'm gonna just play a one-off game, or not really a one-off game, but just play a match of an online game and just kind of talk about whatever I really feel like. And this is kind of the way I started YouTube. I mean, back in when I first started making commentaries with Steve, we just played Call of Duty and talked about whatever really we felt like talking about at the time. I was gonna use Overwatch for this game, but like I was having problems with Overwatch, so gonna use Overwatch for this commentary. I might still be able to use Overwatch later on, but for now, we're gonna be playing some War Thunder, and I'm gonna kind of talk about YouTube's roots, or at least my roots on YouTube, and the way that things have kind of changed, in my opinion. So, like I said, when I first started doing YouTube, a lot of it was dominated by Call of Duty commentaries. Machinima was a thing, playing Halo and whatnot, Hutch and CNanners and, Louis Swede and all those kind of guys that I started off watching on YouTube. A lot of them just did commentaries on games like this, where you just join an online queue. You didn't really need to preface it by saying anything. You just know that if it's a Call of Duty gameplay, and they just kind of talk about different things and whatever was on their mind at the time. And I kind of miss that kind of commentary. I feel like YouTube nowadays, as far as gameplay is concerned, because YouTube landscape has changed far more than it's remained the same. But as far as the commentary and gameplay part of it, I feel like a lot of it now is very Let's Play and very gameplay centric, You see a lot of Let's Plays and things where the commentary tends to stem and be about the game that they're playing, which, again, I'm not saying that's necessarily a bad thing. I just want to preface this by saying nothing that I'm going to say is a bad thing unless I specifically point out and say, okay, this is a bad thing about the way YouTube has changed. It's just my observation. So, and that's including myself. Like, on my channel, I don't do just random whatever the hell games like this anymore, really. I do a lot of Let's Plays because, well, that's just the way the landscape's kind of changed. But in a way, I kind of feel like that almost, it's different because, like I said, back in the day, you'd have people that would just sit and talk about whatever, and you'd kind of get a little piece of the, of humanity with that. Like, you kind of get a little piece of their personality when they just talk about whatever they wanted to. You kind of get a little sense of, well, this is who this guy is, this is what their opinions of certain things are, and, I like that style of commentary. You'd have people talking about, like, current events, you'd have people talking about, like, life events and, all sorts of other things. Again, it's not necessarily a bad thing that the landscape has kind of changed to be a little bit more, focused on the gameplay, but, you kind of lose a little bit of that, just, this is a guy he's a person who's just going to sit down and just talk about things and get his own opinion on things. We're no different. Like, Steve made that whole entire series, A Guided Tour of Steve's Head, which it was him just talking, and he gave you his opinions on politics, he gave you his opinions on, the current events at the time, Treyarch and their map packs, and, I kind of miss that style of commentary, so I think I'm going to try and do more of that style of commentary, where it's just, hey, I feel like playing a one-off kind of match game. Maybe it's going to be this game, maybe it's going to be Overwatch if I can ever get that to work again. But just kind of a mindless game that you can just kind of play in the background and not really have to worry about anything while you just kind of talk. Now, we're talking about, the way specifically this channel has changed. Obviously, this channel is a lot different than when we started. When I started, my best piece of recording equipment was this like random little recorded in like 240p and it was just miserable. We didn't have microphones or anything like that. Just set up this camera on top of a bunch of different boxes and was like, well, here you go. And to be fair, that was the style of commentary that I put out for a long time. I mean, eventually I got a camera that recorded in HD footage. But again, I was just pointing a camera at a TV screen, you know. And once I got my PC, you know, I was able to record with OBS, and you know, at that point I had a microphone, so you got a little bit better commentary. But you know, now that I got the Elgato Game Capture, I kind of want to start doing more, you know, Xbox series again. But you know, I haven't played online or live in a while, so that's really not going to be a thing because I don't have an Xbox One yet. Most of my gaming has come from my PC as of late. Although once I save up a bit of money, I do want to get an Xbox One eventually. So that may be forthcoming, but for the moment, my gaming is just going to be PC gaming, and that's fine. You know, I'm not really opposed to that. My PC isn't the greatest, but you know, by the same token, it's whatever. But you know, I kind of feel like my style of commentary hasn't really changed. I kind of just say whatever I want. I think I'm a little bit less cringy than I was, and I hate using that word, by the way. You know, I hate describing almost anything as cringy, but like, you know, I used to be kind of dumb, and I thought I was really funny, which, I mean, I still think I'm funny, but that's besides the point. But, you know, and now when I do commentaries, I kind of go out with a sense of purpose. Like, alright, like, I can't just throw together this, like, put this camera on top of a, you know, bunch of boxes and go ahead and record. And that's why I kind of paused the LA Noire series for as long as I did, because I was like, you know, oh gosh. I was like, you know, this kind of video just isn't going to work anymore, so I'm really glad I got the Elgato Game Capture to use for the extra live stream, because now that's just something I have that I can sit down and be like, alright, well, let's record some LA Noire, or, you know, XYZ, which, you know, I'm planning, like I said, again, I'm still planning on doing a lot of Xbox series, you know, one-offs and whatnot, so, or not one-offs, but like, older games, like a couple older games that, you know, if I'm spoiling, I wanted to play, do a couple campaigns in Tom Clancy's Manhunt, or, you know, maybe some, you know, Nazi zombies on the old World of War, Black Ops, but you know, overall, I think my sense of reason for doing YouTube is the same as it was when I started, which is like, I just want to entertain people, you know? Because for me, when I would watch a YouTube video, it was kind of a way to just relax, you know? I mean, I know that's saying that's pretty obvious, but you know, you'd come home from school and you just sit down and not have to worry about anything. He's gonna kill me here. You can just, you know, I have really fond memories of just coming home and being like, oh, you know, CNanner's uploaded a new YouTube video, and we're gonna do another match here because I still have a lot I want to talk about, but you know, just sitting down and be like, oh, you know, CNanner's uploaded a new YouTube video, you know, what's his topic gonna be today? And like, he would talk about like a lot of deep things sometimes, like, you know, what it meant to be successful and, you know, how to deal with failure and stuff like that. You know, a lot of personal topics to him. And I mean, even if you look at his channel has definitely changed by far. He does a lot of, you know, more fun videos. Not to say more fun, but you know, less serious videos. You know, his topics aren't as deep anymore, and his channel's definitely changed into more of like a social channel. Like, he plays a lot of games with his friends and uploads those videos and whatnot. And again, like, don't get me wrong, it's not a bad thing. It's different, you know. And again, I feel like that's kind of the way that YouTube in general is going, where it's like, you know, it's not necessarily bad, but it's less personal, you know? It's more about having fun. Which, again, I can't really blame people, because that's kind of the, like I said, you know, when I do YouTube videos, I want to be fun. You know, obviously this video is going to be a little bit more serious, and, you know, other videos in this series might have some serious topics and whatnot, but it's different, you know? And it's not necessarily bad. The one thing I will say that's kind of bad about the way YouTube has changed, besides the technical aspects of Google just kind of ruining everything, is that it's kind of become a little, novel sometimes. Like there's some things that you're just looking at, and you're like, this guy just threw together whatever. Like I'm not gonna, I don't want to say he didn't put any effort into it, but like there are some things on YouTube that you can just get famous by doing. Whereas before, when it was like the Call of Duty dominated era, you kind of had to have a reason for people to watch you. Like, and again, this isn't necessarily a bad thing, but everyone was doing, gameplay commentaries on YouTube. So for you to get famous, you really had to be kind of good at it, I mean, there's a reason that, CNanners and Hutch got as big as they did with Call of Duty, and there's a reason that other people didn't. But now it just kind of seems like there are some channels that just don't care, they just throw together whatever, and they know people are going to watch it because it's their reason, it's their niche community. And if we take a look at like the React series, like, after a while it kind of just became, alright, these guys just threw together this video for people to laugh and be like, haha, old people don't understand, technology or whatever. And then they went with the whole like licensing and reacting, and it's like at that point it's very clear that they just don't care anymore, They stopped wanting to be a genuine production YouTube company, and they were just looking for the money out of it. Like, oh yeah, you can react to this in your own country, but you need licensing. That's not the point. That's not what YouTube is about. If I want to make, I'm not saying that you should be able to just rip off people. Don't get me wrong. Like, you shouldn't be able to just carbon copy someone's idea and make, YouTube money off of it. But at the same time, I shouldn't have to feel like a corporate entity to be able to make a YouTube video. If I rip somebody off, if I fully blown knowing you rip somebody off, then in theory what should happen is that everyone should call me out on it and be like, you're a ripoff, and then just not watch my content anymore. Of course, what happens in theory is not always what happens in practice, but it shouldn't be to the point where YouTube is now, oh, I need a corporate licensing to be able to record a video and put it on YouTube, And I think that's something that Nintendo really doesn't quite get as well as other game companies. There's a lot of controversy around Nintendo and YouTube where Nintendo tends to strike down a lot of YouTube videos containing their content as far as gameplay is concerned, which I don't agree with at all, actually. I'm just gonna put this out there. As somebody who wanted to do game development, unfortunately I'm not in that profession anymore, but as someone who wanted to do game development, it didn't make any sense to me why you wouldn't want, or why you would knowingly go out and start striking down your customers who paid money to play your game and who are of their own volition basically giving you free advertisement. Because that's what it is, really. Like, let's not pretend that it's not. I can list so many games that I've bought because I saw somebody play a game on YouTube. The first one I can think of on the top of my head is one of my favorite games, which is Hitman Absolution. I started watching a channel by the name of 2BC Productions, 2BC, or used to be 2BC Superb, but he put out a video of it, and I was like, this game looks awesome. I never played a Hitman game before, but this game looks like a lot of fun. So, lo and behold, I went out and bought the game because I saw a video of it on YouTube, whereas if I had never seen that YouTube video, chances are I would never have bought that game because I wouldn't have known about it. So, obviously that's just one example, but there are several examples I have in my library, even on Steam and my Xbox games that were of a result of me seeing somebody play a video on YouTube and the game looking like a lot of fun. So I hate the idea that this, that Nintendo is for some reason just averse to people playing their games on their YouTube channels. Not to mention, one of the key things that they're not understanding about that is that when you start doing that, you know, not only do you piss off the content producer that you struck down for seemingly no reason, you piss off their fans and you kind of piss off the entire community. So, you know, don't get me wrong, Nintendo as a company has done a lot of really good things, but that's one thing that they just don't seem to get, is that, you know, people aren't gonna stop buying their content because they saw a YouTube video on it. In fact, more people are likely to buy their content because they saw a YouTube video on it. You know, and I also don't agree with game companies that go out and start striking down YouTube videos because they left bad, because you know, the YouTuber said, you know, bad things about the game in their video. You know, that's not, you know, that's not very honest at all. You know, if you make a bad game, yeah, you deserve to have people call you out on it and say, hey, your game is garbage. You know, you may not like that, but, you know, maybe you shouldn't have, you know, and I don't want to say maybe you shouldn't have put out a subpar product, but, you know, when you make a game in this era, that's just the risk you have to run. You have to understand that some people aren't gonna, you know, enjoy your game as much as you think they are. And if you know, and let's take a company like, you know, Ubisoft, for example. You know, Ubisoft has a history of issues with a lot of not a lot of their games, but, you know, specifically like Uplay and whatnot have a lot of issues in their proprietary services and stuff. So yeah, guess what? When your service for your game doesn't work, people are gonna call you out on that. You know, and I get that it's damaging to a game company when somebody on YouTube, a famous YouTuber, goes out and says, well, this game is garbage, so don't buy it. You know, but again, does that mean that you should go out and strike them down? Because, and the answer to that is no, because the solution to this problem is fix the problem with the game, or just not put out a bad game. And I'll tell you what, you actually end up hurting your game a lot more by striking down a YouTube video for copyright reasons, or because, you know, your feelings were hurt and they said bad things about your game. The damage you do by striking down someone's YouTube video because they gave you a bad review is vastly greater than the damage that that bad review will actually do. That bad review might, you know, leave a sour taste in consumers' mouths, but what leaves an even worse taste is when you look like a petulant child because you struck down some YouTube video. So, you know, I guess it's just me kind of rambling after a while, but, you know, corporations need to understand that YouTube isn't your space, you know. YouTube isn't your space to monopolize and control. YouTube is a creative environment where people have the right to say, hey, you screwed up, you know? And I think that as soon as corporations understand that and they get a better handle on being able to understand YouTube's place and content creators' place in the gaming industry, I think the better off they're going to be. But this game is coming to an end here. I kind of just rambled on for however long I rambled on for. But yeah, so like I said, I'm going to try and do more of this style commentary in the future, just because it's something that I miss doing. You know, I don't really know what the topics are going to be on. They're just going to be on whatever I feel like talking about at the time. But yeah, so hopefully we can just Go ahead. Grab that last couple of victory points that we need. Because, we seem to stall down a little bit, but you know, give me your opinions in the comment section. What do you think about, you know, the way that YouTube has changed as far as not only just content producers, but you know, corporate media and you know, the culture of YouTube and content creation. You know, give me your opinions on what you think about that. And are they really just gonna clutch this out? No, there's no way. I mean, they might. Something, but all right. Let's go and do some damage here. But yeah, give me your opinions on what you think about the way YouTube has changed, and you know, as far as everything is concerned. You know, content creation, the culture, the corporate relations part about it, and yeah. You know, not a lot of things that some YouTubers are going towards is Twitch streaming, because it's a lot more free. You can do whatever you want. Shoot this guy down, that'd be awesome. I hit him. Hit him again. Oh, I want to shoot him down so bad. Damn. Come on. Reload the command. Damn. Alright. Let's stop screwing around. Let's get these victory points, because I'm actually not doing too bad here. Whoa. Huh. Well, I didn't know you could do that. I did not know you could do that. Oh, there you go. So, like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed this style of commentary. It's something that I kind of want to get back to doing, just talking, you know? And let me know down in the comment section down below what you think, and I'll see you guys in the next video.